I've been putting this off long enough on starting this YouTube stuff because I'm lazy, you know, to do everything else on top of whatever I'm doing. Just so much work. So I'm like, how can I make this easier? So I'm just gonna post videos occasionally of what's going on over here. One long video. No transitions, no fancy in and outs, no cuts. Just going in on what's going on, getting a little bit more into the technical side, because on Instagram stories it's so hard to fit everything in on a minute. So I'm gonna get a little bit more into that for people that care and give a shit, and just on what's going on. Again, one long cut, but you know, not many people have seen the studio. I'm not trying to make it sound exclusive. It's just like not just many people came by. It is what it is. So for the people that want to see it, yeah, this is the entrance. You know, the Aristo's outside. You know, you walk in, the entrance is like that, and a couple, you know, without sounding too pretentious, I call this area in the front, I call it the exhibit, because, or like a showcase, because it's all of my paintwork, my artwork, that I like to show off, all the shit I spend extra time with. Now, also keep in mind, I have a speech impediment. On Instagram stories, I'll do a retake over and over again because I'll be like, I'm like, oh, I gotta shut that down and start over. Here, I'm gonna let it ride. So if I pause on a word, your internet is good. It's not buffering, it's me. So this was an Arizona piece I painted, Campbell's from the Warhol piece. I painted this Wawa because every time I sat outside, I was always looking at the Wawa across the street and that sign, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna paint it. And you know, cool enough, Wawa saw it and they reached out. The Entenmann's piece, the Milwaukee fire hydrant, the Popeyes battery, the Coke spray can, the wood rotor. This is the under pressure plate. Just a couple pieces, you know. This is a 1J spark plug cover that I made look like a raw rolling papers. And just, you know, this was one of the first pieces, the Air Force One fender. And then just me trying not to show off, but showing off a little bit, you know, on like this shit and where I've been, whether it be Super Street or Speed Hunters, you know, or whatever else. And I could, oh, these are pieces I painted for a Renault R5 Turbo 1. It's flat red, and that's waiting to get picked up. But to see the work area, you know what, let me pause the music. All right. We're not gonna be able to hear shit. So that's the studio. That's the studio. And obviously I'll probably dive into each build a little bit more, because this video is just, you know, just an intro on what's going on. But this is the infamous R33 Speedwagon that I've been just putting so much time into. It's just getting funny at this point. It's just escalated to so much. So both left and the right side are done. I'm working on making the rear hatch. Right now I'm working with the glass, putting it in and out. So I'm gonna remake the whole thing in steel. I gotta set this whole up for a different video to talk about everything that's going on. There's so much. This 34 I did so much work on. Quarters changed, doors straightened, roof straightened, trunk restored, complete engine bay, and just really, you know, nice parts. Nismo Z-Tune front bumper. It's getting Z-Tune fenders waiting on. Just a lot of nice shit. I'm waiting on parts for this, so I'm paused out. This is the Veilside MR2. It's not just a Veilside MR2 because it has Veilside parts on it. This was the Veilside car. It was owned by them. Veilside, I don't know how to say it. However you want to say it. It was owned by them. So it was at Tokyo Auto Salon 1997 or 96 or something like that. That was at Tokyo Auto Salon 96. This was on 97, I think. So the whole outside is done and we're ready to go. A little bit more on the technical side would be like, this is the final coat of primer. I primed it once over with polyester primer. That was over everything I had already fixed. So polyester primer the whole car. Then sand, you got to block the whole car again one more time, dry. With that, I like to finish in about 220. I'll start with like 100 to kind of start breaking it down, 180 to block the whole thing, and then 220 to finish. And then 220 to finish is ready for the final coat of primer. This I like to finish in, like, you know, if it's colored, depending on the color, this color, I'm gonna finish with 600. If it was like a solid color, you could finish with 400, but 6 I'm gonna use for this. But because everything is done on the outside, what's nice is I didn't sand anything yet. So now I'm gonna work in the engine bay. I already gutted everything out. I'm gonna paint it. And I like to work from the inside out now, because if it's painted, I don't really care about whatever the hell lands on here, because I still have to sand all this. I have to sand all this anyways. So if this was painted and then you got to paint this, you have so much to mask up. You got to be really, you know, wild with all your tape lines. This doesn't really matter. I could overspray out, sand back in, and the lines are perfect. So now I'm doing the bay and the rear trunk rails and the front area, and then I'm gonna go back to the outside. All the panels are straightened, all the fiberglass is restored, everything is repaired, and it's going. I'm excited for that. This is an Autozam AZ-1. I had to do like paint work on this. A couple areas were damaged, a couple areas were not, but the goal was to make it look like it wasn't painted. So even though I painted it in multiple areas, with all the blending and working everything in, it doesn't look like I was there, which is the goal. This whole, I mean, it's dusty, but this whole rear area was cracked in and all that. That's all fixed, all new fiberglass work, because the whole car is fiberglass. So that was all fixed and done. And this one I can't really share. At request of the client, no one's supposed to know about the car for a little bit of time until whatever, I can't say anymore. So, but it's pretty wild. I'm trying to keep it from this angle so you can't really tell what it is, but yeah, I got nothing else to say. I'm gonna look horrible trying to hint something. I'm really not. Eventually, I think I'll be able to share it, and if not, then I can't. But it's pretty wild. I think there's like only 10 ever made, or some wild number like that. That's it. I can't say anymore. I'm gonna be an asshole. But anyways, gonna continue doing this just as one long shot, and I'll get it more into the technical shit like that when what I was explaining. It's just, there's just so much to talk about: the work area, the cars, the builds, what's coming in, what's going out. Pause. And I just want to I don't know, keep this going. So we'll see. I'm not gonna do no fancy ending with the whoa hand or whatever. It's just gonna end like that.